Yo, what's going on, peeps? Back again with another vid. Same rules apply. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you share. Big yourselves up every time. As I said in the earlier video about Harry Kane, I will be making another video talking about the deadwood we still have at this club with the season about to kick off on Friday. Obviously, we kick off on Sunday, but the league officially starts on Friday. And we still got the same dead players, so let's get straight into it. We ain't got no time to play games. This is what we're here for. Make sure you like and subscribe. It's free. Smash that right now while I get into this. Now, I've got up the players that have left the club. Are you ready? And this just shows how either these teams are so shit nobody wants them, or they're just not being proactive enough upstairs. It could be a combination of both, but we'll get into it. We're going to start with one Van Foyt. He's gone to Villarreal for 13.5 mil. Now, for me, Foyt should have stayed because he could play right back as well and centre back, and you can see the potential was there. He was just young and raw. He was 21 when he was trying to get into the team. He's only 23 now, so he was young. You could see he was a talent. He just needed coaching because he just had that thing where the first part of the game, maybe 15, 20 minutes, his concentration was just lapsy days all over the place. And then once he settled to the game, in that 15, 20 minutes, that was it. He was solid and really made mistakes after. If you gave away penalties, it's always in the early parts of the game when his concentration was at its lowest point. As the game grew, he grew into the game, and you could see there's a player in there. He just needed some time to gel. So for me, selling him and letting him go was just not the right decision at all. Especially with the shit players we have, like Sanchez. He could have paid centre back, and he can't even pay that. So I think if he played alongside Romero, probably could have been a lot better than Dyer Sanchez. Who knows? And he's young as well, same age as Romero. So I'd rather go with youth. But it is what it is. Alderweireld. Allegedly he's gone for 11.7 mil. Now that one, I wasn't upset. You can see his legs were gone. I did do a video on it. You can see his legs were gone, and he was still a solid defender, don't get me wrong. He's still our best defender he had. Absolutely. But the fact that he was definitely getting neggy, and if you beat him in a one-on-one or whatever, you give him a little jink, he was never getting back. And it's like, you know what? All the emotion we have and whatever else surrounding him, you just got to put it aside and say, you know what? He can't play at this level anymore. It's too intense in the Premier League. It's too much. And once you start to drop off, especially as a defender, then you got to say, you know what? I've got to pack up. Like, I can't do it. Gary Neville said the same thing. Like, once he played and he was getting spun and run ragged, he said, nah, I've got to give up now. I've got to hang up my boots. So yeah, you got to either hang up your boots or go to a league where it's a lot more slower. And he would definitely be the best defender in that league, 100%. So I get it, and we got Romero, which I think would be a good replacement. So big up Alderweireld. I'm not gonna sag him. I've got no ill will against him. Joe Hart, 1.08 mil. That's a no-brainer. I'm happy with that. He was shit, didn't bring nothing to the club. I don't know why I even signed him in the first place. I thought it was just for homegrown players, and I was thinking, yeah, he'll never get in. But he was getting ahead of Gazaniga, and that for me was criminal. So I'm glad he's gone to Celtic. Good luck there, and good luck to them because they're gonna need it. Shit goalkeeper, he lost it. Danny Rose went to Watford, free transfer. That one is a little. I feel he was a little mistreated under Mourinho, if I'm being honest with you. Now, obviously, we've all seen the All or Nothing documentary when he went in the office and was a little aggressive in his approach towards Mourinho. But understandably, he had every right to be like that because he wasn't paying him, he wasn't using him, he was paying just shit man ahead of him. So for me, I would be having some issues as well. And obviously his time was time to leave. He's 30, but definitely should have been treated the way he was. So it's a toss up. It's a bittersweet one, that one. Eric Lamela, obviously part of the swap deal with Brian Gill. He's gone to Sevilla. He's 29. We got him when he was, I'm not even sure how old he was when we got him. He was definitely young, maybe around 23, 24. He's been a good while, but for me, he could have been even younger than that. But it's a thing where potential, but injury record just costing him any type of real runs and streaks and showing what he can really do. He'd have a moment when he was going through a hot streak and then he'd get injured. And it wasn't like a little injury that'd be out for like 1 week, 2 weeks. He'd be out for months. And then he'll come back, look good, then he'd get injured again. And maybe a little knock, he'd be out for a few weeks, come back, then he's out for another spell. So at least I'd say at least 95%, 90% of his time at Tottenham he's been injured. Absolutely. So it's a little unfair to, you know, really stick it on him because he's injured. If you're injured, you're injured. He just made the glass, that's all it is. But he scored some big goals, some good goals. The Rabona against Arsenal more recent, and one in Europa League. He put one against Aston Villa, I believe it was top bins. Against Man City when we slapped them, was it like 5? Well, I don't know what the score was, but we definitely might have been 4-1. We battered them. So there's definitely a player in there, and Sevilla, I think that league is a bit more ideal for him because he's one of those players that has the ball and he won't release it. He'll just hold it until last minute and try and release it, and it's too late. So for me, I think Spanish league will probably suit him because it's a lot more slow, and he could probably get his shit off in that league easily. Gazaniga free. I think it all went downhill once he came flying out and fly kicked. I can't remember who it was at Chelsea. He fly kicked and gave her a penalty. That's when his career was done at Tottenham because he hardly saw the light again once he did that. So he was a good goalkeeper, but he did have those kind of rushes of blood and do stupid shit like that. So there's not really much to say on that one. I'm not really that pressed. He was good little backup, but it's not that deep if he leaves. Gareth Bale obviously ended the loan, and Vinicius didn't really get a proper chance to see what he's made of, and it's definitely not worth spending that 30 million on him, and he hardly played, and he's 26. So he's gone back to Benfica as well, to his parent club, end of the loan. And that's the players that have gone out. Now, I'll count the players that, so let me count how many players have gone out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players gone out. And the only one I'll say, yeah, fine, go, would be Joe Hart. And obviously the two that have gone back to their parent clubs from loan, I'm not counting them. It would be Joe Hart and I say Danny Rose. Alderweireld, I didn't really want to leave, but at the same time, it's just he couldn't cope. So I guess I throw him in there. So I'll say 3. No, I'll put the medal in there. 4. Right? Now, they're out. That's good. Got a little change for some of them. But if I'm honest, bar Joe Hart, I do good other ones to an extent, but if I could swap them with somebody else like Sissoko, Harry Winks, Eric Dyer, Sanchez, there's a couple of them that I would rather have back and then send them away instead, if I'm being real with you. Like Sissoko, he'll be out of there. Doherty in the bin. I'd rather have Foyt at right back. That's me, and I've got a decent right back because Aurier, he wants to leave. Not great. Doherty just signed. Not great. So, for me, I would have kept Foyt, bought in another right back and sold either Aurier or Doherty. Got rid of one of them. Got a little change and went and got decent right back. Because that's what you need. You need wing backs that can cross the ball. We've got one on the left hand side in Reguilon, we need one on the right hand side. We don't have that. So when you're getting service from one side of the pitch, it's not great. You need it on both if you want a chance to score goals, not just one. And our squad, for me, as you saw the names that I've read out, there's still loads of players still in this squad, in the first team, that should not be here. Sissoko, Winks, Sanchez, Dyer. And from us seeing him captain in the pre-season, I'm saying he's probably not going nowhere. But still, the fact remains, he shouldn't be here. Ben Davis shouldn't be here. Who else can I think of off the top of the head? For me, in the main squad, definitely those are the 5 names, and at least 3 of them need to go. In Winks, Sissoko, and who else I've thrown there that has to go? I would probably say Sanchez then. If it had to be 3, those would be the 3 that would immediately be out of the door. You get an offer for them, bin them. Not good enough. Harry Winks spins around the midfield, don't need him. And then you play him alongside Højbjerg. They're similar styles of football, but one just does it a lot better than the other. Now, obviously Harry Winks is supposed to be number 8, but he doesn't act like a number 8. He should change his number because he's not a number 8. Number 8 for me is someone that's like box to box. He's not doing that. He's just spinning around, doesn't really have a passing range on him, doesn't really bring much apart from slowing the game down and going sideways. If that's the case, you beat him at the end of the game if you're winning like 2-0 and you want to shut down shop and just slow the game down. That's when you've been Harry Winks. He should not be starting the game ever. You have the Celso, you have Højbjerg and Domblé. Those are the men you put in there. For me. Even I guess you could even throw Dele in the mix somewhere in there. But definitely you're gonna either have Højbjerg with somebody else, either in Domblé or the Celso. It's just that simple for me. Not putting him in there. And one that's a bit more direct and one that's defensive. That's the good thing, and you have a number 10 sorted. But what do I know? So for me, the players that haven't been released, they need to get gone. I don't want to see Sissoko play next season. I don't want to see Harry Winks. We got Oliver Skip. I'd rather see Oliver Skip because against Arsenal, he was on job. So I'd rather see him come in the fold. Give him some minutes. Because if you're going to go with the youth, then us as fans will say, you know what, it's not, this is not your building. You've got an idea and you're trying to build for the future. That's cool. And if results don't go all the way how we want it, we can say, you know what, paying youth, inexperience, cool. But when you pay man that's a Sissoko and them man there that are supposed to be seasoned vets and they're shit, that's when we have a problem. And that's when us as fans get disgruntled. And that's why we say we need players and you need to bin these shit men. Just that simple. We've not finished in the top 4 last 2 seasons. Not acceptable. And if we go with a lot of these players, because we've not really got any better, then where are we going to finish now? With other teams around us building and doing better. Like your Man Uniteds. Aston Villa, we've got Danny Ings. Proper player. Would I take Danny Ings? 100%. He does get injured a lot, cool. But when he's on and fit, that man there is on fire and he's underrated. He works his fucking ass off. He runs up and I see him run up and down the flanks. I think was it Arsenal? Who was he playing? No, he was playing us actually. He's playing Tottenham and I saw this man who's this he's a striker by the way, number 9. He ran from our box all the way back to his right hand side of his area to make a slide tackle. Maybe you didn't understand what I'm saying. He's a striker. He's there to score goals. but he busted his ass to run all the way back to help his defence and help his right back and make a slide tackle. That man will give 100% and he scores goals. He's just like a poacher. He's got a good finish. He's a good player. And 25 mil or 20 mil, whatever Aston Villa paid for him, is an absolute steal. If you ask me. He might be getting on a bit, but mate, he's a talisman and he's going to get them goals. Believe that. And that's what we should have been doing. Obviously, he's not going to replace Kane, but we'd have Kane. If he's not there, then obviously we've got to get someone. Not Martinez. He's not going to want to come to Tottenham. We're not in the Champions League. We're not even in the Europa League. We're not in that conference shit. I don't think he wants to come and play that. So we're not really an option for him. Like, oh yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, I love that. It's not like we've got a big manager like, oh yeah. If we got like a Benitez or someone serious or a Conte, maybe then. But no disrespect to Spirito Santo, is not really someone you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'd love to play underneath him. So, is what it is. Daniel Levy, sort it out. Patrici, sort it out. Get rid of these men. Put them up, put a for sale sign on them. Take them to your house. Walk them on the street with a for sale sign. Walk them around all the stadiums. Do a stadium tour. Not a world tour, do a stadium tour. All the stadiums, just walk them around with a for sale sign on them and let the other clubs know that these men are available. Because at this point, I just don't want to see a lot of these men next season. It's going to be frustrating for me and everyone else. And the fans are now back in the stadium and I don't think they want to go and watch a bunch of shit man. Because it's all good scoring goals, but then you've got a bunch of knobheads at the back that can't stop goals from going in. So for me, this team has to be sorted and these players need to be gone by the end of the window. I don't care if they don't get a pre-season at their new club. As long as they're at the door, they're not paying for Tottenham enough to put on a Spurs shirt, that is more than good enough for me. I'll take it. I'll be very chuffed. And I'm sure a lot of other fans will be saying the same thing. So, about that. But, yeah, that's the vid. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Big yourselves up every time. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. And I'm getting infuriated. I can feel me starting to, so get worked up. So let me wrap this video up and go and eat and enjoy the rest of my day like you don't enjoy yours. If it's hot where you are, go and enjoy the sun. All the kids on half term, enjoy your holidays. It's nearly up. I can't wait for you lot to get back to school. And obviously the parents, it's been rough for us as parents dealing with COVID and homeschooling and what have you. So big yourselves up as well. And until the next vid, I'm out of here. Peace.